We're live. Okay, I'm clicking go live and we should be live. It says live in the left-hand corner. So I'm gonna go ahead and go into, let's see, I'm gonna delete this. And I want to go into the group and then make sure that we are able to see ourselves so that
It's
we can see
also,
comments. Okay, we're here, we're on, we're live, it's working.
yes, indeed.
Yay, Mandy's watching. Okay, cool. Okay, I can see comments, so I don't know if you want to get on from your phone to look at comments, but anyways, the other thing
Good.
I was gonna do, go ahead.
Mm, Oh, you switched. Did
Did
you
I?
switch? Yes.
No. Switch
You
what?
switched that I am bigger and my screen is bigger and yours is smaller.
Oh, was it? And
Oh,
maybe
I
it's
think
whoever's.
when I am talking, I am bigger, and when you are talking, you are bigger.
Okay.
Just check it out, or you cannot check it out.
I
Only if
don't
you
think
have
there's any
two
way to
devices.
change that.
If you have two devices, then you cannot see it.
Oh, yeah.
Yes, indeed. That's so. That's very interesting and nice.
I
Nice.
like it. Okay,
Yes,
well, we can work with this. We're live, we're together. It's perfect, right?
yes. I don't know, however, with the sound, but hopefully everybody hears us.
Yeah. If you guys can hear us both okay and the sound is coming through, would you let us know? Give us a little
Yes,
like shower or a heart bomb shower.
the sound is also good. I checked
Good.
it now.
Awesome. Cool.
Awesome.
Yay.
Okay, so we start. And hi, Heather. Thank you for coming. And yes, so I wanted to talk this particular topic because if you come from entrepreneurial background, you know that economy has changed and everything is global and with English as the language of business. And it seems that English is no longer an advantage, it's a must, at least for now. And I gathered a couple of facts just for starters, just to see how many people globally are speaking English as a fun fact.
Oh,
And it
cool.
is, um, so English is the fastest spreading language in human history. And it is spoken at a useful level by some 1.75 billion people worldwide. That's 1 in every 4 of us. There are close to 385 million native speakers in countries like US and Australia, about a billion fluent speakers in formerly colonized nations such as India and Nigeria, and millions of people around the world who've studied as a second language. An estimated 565 million people use it on the internet. So this is the fun fact.
That's a lot of stuff. Wow, that's a lot of people.
Very, very lot of people. And here it comes, because it appears the cultural background also, how you are speaking, how you are gesticulating, and somebody else could understand otherwise your gesticulations or your accent or your words, basically. And this could be also an issue. If you start a business, you need to be able to understand the culture from your other persons who is not native, if you want to go internationally. This is not just for who do not speak English, who are speaking English and want to do an international business, and they do not understand the other cultures like Romania, or so like my country, or someone like so Europe, then why do you want to go internationally? You do not want to understand also the cultural background from your market.
Yeah.
But if you want to stay only in US, then yes, it's totally understandable. But yeah, I thought we will introduce just a short version of ourselves that everybody knows who we are, and a little bit of storyline, and afterwards we can start the real conversation about this kind of challenges. Maybe you had also the thought about these challenges. I don't know if you would.
Definitely.
So I would say, because you are my guest, you start first, because ladies
Thank
first.
you. Thank you so much. Thank you. Thanks for having me, Christina. I'm really happy to have this conversation with you and just chat a little bit about, this topic. I feel like it's really important, and it's pretty awesome that you're forward thinking about this. It's really cool. I'm Heather Hartman Johnson. I am a visibility and confidence coach. I work with women with their visibility and their confidence in their businesses to grow their business and basically scale their practice online. So, a little bit about, like, I guess some story about how I got into this. I worked in corporate for 20 years. I left corporate and I started my own health coaching business after getting certified as a health coach and a yoga teacher. And then as I was doing that, I realized what really lights me up is teaching women about business, about mindset, about being seen and being fully okay with being visible. So that's where I really kind of found this part of what I love to do in my business with my clients. And I'm so glad that you asked me to talk about this with you, Christina, because I wanted to share what my experience was with being an English native speaking person and going into other countries and meeting other women who are not English native speaking, and the way that we each interacted and experienced one another and ourselves in those situations where there's the language barrier. It was very profound, and I feel really excited to share it with you and with your amazing group of beautiful women. So thank you for asking me to come on here and talk with you.
Thank you. Yes, perfect. So um, I have two nationalities basically. I am also Hungarian and Romanian. So that means I talked with my parents at home Hungarian, and when I walked outside in my town and in the school, I needed to speak Romanian. And basically the second language, then I learned English, like in the fun facts. And I got to learn a little bit of German and Spanish from the TV, just watching TV. So basically I needed to speak two languages since I was little. And now that I came here to Germany, so I left everything behind. I had a boyfriend, I had a job, a corporate job, but I didn't felt like this is my life, so I didn't want it to stop there. I knew just I learned law, I studied law, I finished it, I studied international relationships, I finished it, but somehow I wasn't happy there, so I needed to get away, and I chose Germany because it was my dream to learn a little bit more German, and I came alone, so without family, without friends, without nothing, and a small amount of money which I gathered from my corporate job. So I needed very fast to grow here in Germany. I didn't know no one for 3 years because I am 3 years for now living here. And I managed somehow to go to language school, and through language school, I managed to get involved with the people who I needed in my life. So someone helped me with my living situation, so with where to live in a rent, very good, in a good place. Someone gave me a part-time job, and I don't know how, but somehow I got also a boyfriend, an amazing boyfriend who was in the entrepreneurial um, background already. So he already had an online business, and from him I learned that it can be done so much through entrepreneurship and online business and everything. And I gathered a lot of information from him. So he was my mentor. And together we opened an online shop with bakery, silicone bakery tools. And it was pretty good. So I am living pretty good from that. But however, products are not exactly what is for me. So it's not exactly my thing. I wanted to do bigger, and I dreamed bigger, and that's why I decided to open the second business, so the service-based coaching business. And I chose coaching because even from the name from my business, Up to Yourself, it is up to yourself how you do it, because nobody will help you, nobody will decide for you, so you need to go out there and do it if you want to have something on your own. And this is why I chose this one. And I chose creativity because creativity basically is also productive, and it's the best way to put in practice as fast as you can. So you take an idea and you put it into practice. You do not wait, you do not procrastinate. So it's a little bit of discipline and self-optimization and self-achievement. And it's a lot of encouragement because they need it. We women are very not so strong.
Sensitive.
So yeah, and here it comes the challenge that here I need to speak 4 languages every day. So with my parents, Hungarian, with my friends in Romania, in my business, English, and outside here, German. So I'm speaking every day 4 languages, and it's not so easy, and it can be very fast. I don't know, going a lot of directions in your head, and sometimes you mix up the words, and this comes then that you do not have any confidence so much because you do not know what kind of language should you use, and so on and so on. And this was very important for me also to talk about that, because I overcame that. So I'm not afraid. I do not need confidence. Okay, everybody needs confidence, but I'm saying I just do it. I do not care. So I am cutting in this point. I do not care. I'm just doing it, even if it's wrong, or even if it's not good enough. But I don't think that everybody understands this, and everybody needs to understand this. And that's why I wanted very, very much to talk with you, because as a visibility and an encouragement coach and everything, I think you have the right words to say about this topic a little bit.
Well, I think honestly, and Christina, you can tell me if I'm wrong, but when you have a native tongue and you have to speak other languages, you mentally have to actually transcribe the your initial language, and you have to basically translate it all in your mind before it comes out in words from your mouth, right?
It depends. So there are a lot of types of people. So someone, I think the highest level, yes, they are capable already to think first, to translate it, and afterwards to talk. But in my case, for example, I do not need to translate it anymore. It comes, and after it comes from my mouth, I'm just afterwards understand that I said it wrong because I
Mm.
didn't think it before I said it. So
I
that's
see. I see what you mean. I think the biggest thing that women need to know who are not English speaking, and I love that you encourage the women in your group to share in English because it is the primary language, and it also gets them out of their comfort zone to speak in a language that they may not necessarily be 100% comfortable with. And what that does is it forces us to expand and grow, right? And what I've experienced is I went to Paris last year in September for a business retreat, and there were several women who were Italian at this retreat, and they really had a difficult time with the English speaking part. And when we all went around the circle and we all shared, they were too shy to speak in English for fear that it would not come out right, for fear it wouldn't sound right, and then that they would just feel stupid. And the coach at that time at this retreat also encouraged them, you can't get it unless you practice. And it's not going to really matter a whole lot if it doesn't come out perfectly, because you can always correct yourself. Self-correction is one things also that helps us to grow and develop in this way. So I felt like this is a big deal because, and even flip side for me, if I want to go international, then I'm going to have to learn about the cultures. I'm going to have to understand what is appropriate, what is acceptable, what is, you know, the basically the standards when it comes to culture, because
and
every
not
culture is.
only when it comes to culture, how you encourage it, because it's not the same how you talk about visibility and encouragement with your native speakers and how you are talking to them. So what you are saying, I do not mean exactly the words, but how you are saying and what kind of, I don't know, you need to talk also slowly, and you need to have this to give them the warm welcome that it's okay. I understand you. I was in your position, but so I understand your story.
Kind
So
of like full on acceptance.
yeah, so if you are in Italy, or I don't know if you were in Italy with those women, then you try to be open to act like them. You see them shy, okay, you are also then shy, and you
Mirroring.
mirroring, yeah, yeah,
Cool. I love this.
and then they will feel better because you are not a stranger anymore, because they see that you accept their culture, you try to be like them, and when you get to them like that, you try to pull them out from their little world, you know.
Yeah,
So
that makes sense.
this
Yeah,
is the strategy which I learned.
I well, it's cool because when you have that experience and you have that ability to really connect with other people on many different levels from many different areas in the world, it just adds to your it's a skill. Really it's just a skill, and it has to be practiced in order
Yeah,
to continue growing that skill.
and I don't know how many people or coaches or also you or me are practicing every day in order to talk as much every nationality type of woman as we can every day, just to understand them. just to know what's in their head. Because we want to do that, we want to collaborate, but what do we do for that? Are we waiting that it comes from the sky or that they are coming to us? Because they won't come to us.
Yeah.
If we want something, then we need to take it. We do not wait until ask somebody that they can join us. No, that won't happen.
Yeah.
And,
I wonder if any of the ladies who are watching have any questions.
yeah, so if they will have questions, definitely I see everything.
Okay.
Basically, I have also a lot of Romanian women here who have businesses, and yeah, maybe they are shy or I don't know. But yeah, however, I want to be this video valuable also afterwards, because it needs to be spread and they need to learn, and we learn also from our conversation, and as we learn, they will learn also. And it's very important also to create this business environment for yourself, even though if you are not English speaker or you are native speaker, you try to get into the business environment with other nationalities who have already businesses, not just normal people, but some kind of influencers, and try to imitate them or try just to be in their group.
To learn from them.
Yeah, how they are doing it with other people. So this is also a very important thing. And like your mastermind, you are encouraging women to create this environment, business environment, to be together. And I am remembering that for 1 year ago, I went to meetup groups just to get to learn, get to know women, business women. So there was a meetup only for business women. And as I went there, I was the only international one. Everybody was German. Everybody had a business already, so German women, and nobody was international. Nobody. So I literally only accent, and I felt like, oh my God, I cannot believe why I am the only one. Because this I am living in Cologne. It's a very big city and a very international one, and nobody cares. So they are not involving. I think the Americans are more open, like the European, also with business, because we European maybe live in scarcity yet, and you not, because you have, okay, I do not want to get involved in politics, but you have politicians who are so open and so bright and I think nothing can scare you anymore. So
I love it. It's true, though. I think that there's a certain sense of, and especially for women, and this is something that I've done some deep studying on, but even globally, women have a tendency to be more withdrawn and to be more, um, how do you say, do you know what I'm saying?
yes, and
We're more
somebody,
subdued naturally. That's our natural tendency because of history, because of how we've been treated by men, because of, stories that we've lived out or stories that have been lived out, centuries ago. And in that way, it affects our energy and it affects our ability to connect with each other and to connect with ourselves and to truly show up and be seen and be who we are. And in that way, it's almost a sense of uh, being in prison almost. where you
Yeah.
have to push yourself down and you have to be a certain way in order to be accepted in society. And
Yes.
I think that's probably more common in some of the European cultures and
Hmm.
especially, some of the other cultures like um in I can't think of it. I always say India because it's like the one thing, but all the Muslim traditions and that sort of thing. And so, but in America, it's different. Women, and it almost sometimes feels like it's almost like privilege, like it has to do with privilege. But I don't like saying that word because it makes me feel dirty somehow. I don't know.
It is a privilege. But I think even so, it's not important where are you living, because it's a privilege just to take the courage to do that. So if you decide for yourself you do that, then it's all, you can be yourself, a privilege for yourself. Um, Somebody asked me if I think that women are, that's why women are thinking different as men. So because of our how our parents treated us, so more gently, more do not do that, do not do that. But so from my perspective, it's not that. I do not think that it is related to history or to your parents, because after an age, a properly age, after you already decided that you want to have a business, um, I think that then you are capable to um, to make your own choices,
Hmm.
and you can choose to ask or to take, or you can choose everything you want, and you are aware of that. But
Right.
you do not do that because you are feeling emotional more, and
Or fear.
or fear.
Because it's
It,
normal to allow fear to stop us from making the choices that will get us to where we want to go. And that's very common. And
and
I think, yeah, go
yeah,
ahead.
and now was the question, how can you overcome the fear?
How can you overcome the fear? I think that when it comes to the choosing intentionally of your experience, to overcome the fear, you have to know that what is on the other side of those fears and those emotions and those feelings is the benefit of that outweighs the risk of making the hard choice, right? Basically, it's better to make the choice and get past the fear than it is to stay in the place of fear and not growing and always being a prisoner of your own emotions and your own fears and your own self limitations.
But you know that you cannot be a prisoner if you do not know, if you aren't aware that you are in one.
That's true. That's true. I think it maybe comes down to allowing your emotions, and maybe not everyone is in tune with their emotions. I'm sure there are probably many women who just shut them off completely. But if you have an awareness that if you don't feel amazing, if you don't feel excited, if you aren't feeling positive most of the time, because there's no such thing as perfect always, right? But those emotions, the negative feelings and the negative emotions and the fears are a compass. They're showing you which direction to go. So if you're in, this is what I believe, if you're experiencing negative emotions, then it's telling you something's wrong and we need to figure out what it is and move in a different direction.
Yes. I also think that women need to be educated in order to see the bigger picture, so a bigger vision, because they only think in short term. So they do not see the long term. What can it do if you every day you are talking English, or every day you are trying to do a live video, or every day you are trying to pitch someone or talk to someone internationally. They think, okay, that won't help now, so this is the short term. It isn't helping me now. But they do not think in the long version that if I do that 2 or 3 months in a row, then I will be much bigger and I gain more experience, and I also confidence within, and a little small successes.
Do
I
you
think
think
they,
it could be a lack of vision?
yes,
Okay. I think that's a really cool concept because, yeah, if you don't have the vision and you're not able to see that, then of course, why would you change?
yes. Exactly.
Huh. That's a fascinating concept, and I never thought of it that way.
Hmm.
Hmm. That's so cool. I really am enjoying this. This is amazing. Thank you, Christina.
Yes, thank you too.
Yeah.
And yes, so everything I am saying, I have learned that as a lesson since I was here, because I went through all the emotions possible since I was here, because I was alone, and my boyfriend, yes, he is supportive, but until one limit. He's not my husband. He has also his own something. And he says, and when I am asking for help, please help me with that, he says, no, you need to do it on your own. You need to learn how to do it on your own. I do not need a woman who is not capable to have um, to take care of her own. And yes, maybe it's wrong, it's not for everybody, and I really cried, I really struggled, but afterwards I understood. He saw that big vision. He saw that I need to grow up. He saw that I need to become another person from another level in order to be able to think like a successful person. Because it's very easy for women to just start to cry, and then you get it from the man because he has pity on you, or he gives you like a plate because you are who you are. And then what kind of business do you want to have? You cannot have a business if you cannot be your own boss
That's
in your
true.
life. And you cannot be a businesswoman if you cannot become that service or product what you want to sell. It's just not like that. So you can, however, yes, you can with money, you can manipulate, but it won't be real. It
Hmm.
won't be that value which we need.
Right.
We do not get value in the world, then we cannot grow together. And
Yeah.
this is more about entertainment, because everybody wants to be entertained, but nobody wants to create value, or very small percentage of people
Right. It's
create
like,
value.
what do they call it? 80/20, 80/20%.
The
Like
80%.
20% of the people are doing 80% of the work in the world.
So yes, and okay, let's talk about visibility a little bit, because we went a little bit deep, and yes, it should have been also spoken this, because they need to learn. Or I don't think you will learn, but maybe you get this awareness that it can be, it exists also this perspective. And they can see from me, I just struggle also to talk in English, and I am talking, I don't care. I make a lot of mistakes, but that doesn't mean that it makes me less expert in my field, because I know what I know. I know through what I've been through, and I know that I can help.
Yeah.
And will resonate, will come. If not tomorrow, but in 1 year or in 6 months, because then I will be much better, maybe.
Of course you will. Not maybe.
I'm seeing here the bigger vision, the bigger
Hmm.
picture.
Exactly.
What, how do you see your business? When did you started to have your own big vision?
I mean, I started with my vision when I first started my business, but my vision has changed since I've moved from the health and wellness industry. Initially, my big why was I wanted to end lifestyle related disease in my lifetime, because I feel like so many people suffer from that, and it's so much within our control with what we eat and what kinds of, you know, what we drink and what kinds of supplements we take and how we intentionally move our bodies and things like that. So that was like my big why when I was still doing health coaching, and I still love that vision. But what really lights me up and what really makes my soul like sing is my vision of no woman ever having to feel less than or not enough, or, I can't show up, can't be seen, can't be visible, can't speak my truth, because I know what that feels like, and no woman should ever have to feel that way. So in my work, I mean, a lot of what I do is mostly how I help contribute to that movement, that women's empowerment movement, is to just help women see that they don't really need anything outside of themselves. It's all within, that we all make our own choices, and that we each individually have the ability to decide that we're going to show up and that we're going to be brave in spite of the fear, in spite of the resistance, in spite of the fact that maybe not every person in the world supports women being strong. And so, really that's where my vision comes from. And without that vision, I don't think that I would feel as passionate, and I wouldn't be able to convey the message, in which case I wouldn't really have a business.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
Definitely. And what is about visibility? Do you think visibility has connection with what you said? So because you
Absolutely.
said with the feelings and trying to educate them to feel
Sure. The
better.
thing, I feel like the part about visibility that is so connected is that we feel.
This is the problem, because we feel too much. That's not good. I just told also in my program, it needs to be balanced. So if we feel a lot, then we need to have next to us a person who thinks logically.
Structure.
Because if we do not have this balance, and if we are talking, I feel that, I think that, I feel that, that's not just overwhelming us, it's overwhelming everything, our
Right.
energy. our environment, our people, or our business directly.
Right.
This
Well,
is
and
the
I think a lot
process.
of that also comes down to straight values too. It really comes down to what do you value and how does visibility affect that?
And not just visibility, because maybe you cannot be aware, but when you are feeling down because you have talked to a person, or a person did something, or a customer did something with which you do not resonate, that means he stepped over your values. He didn't respect it. And if someone steps over your values, then you get to feel sad, or you get to not feel that good. Then you need to find the persons who are having the same values, or the values which you want to have in the future, instead of with everybody.
Which is where community comes in. Creating
Yeah,
community and connecting with like-minded people
it's
is
just like-minded, because if you are like-minded, that doesn't mean that you share the same values.
no, but typically uh, you would have similar values.
Yeah,
Not all the same, because obviously there's
yeah.
there's so much, there's so much variety.
Values are as a rule, because you need to have a rule of values if you are going into entrepreneur industry. Because if you everybody who is a women entrepreneur has almost the same values, because I think this is a regular that's the rule of entrepreneurship generally, on a highest level. So I am talking now in a cosmic or energetic way, not like the rule or a system. It's just
Right,
that
right.
do not have that rule. It's like in Maslow's pyramid. If you do not have those levels, those needs fulfilled, then you are not who you need to be. And this is also with the values, the same thing. You need to have exactly those, okay, not exactly, but approximately the same values in order to become an entrepreneur, or in order to become a businesswoman, or so on or so on. That means like-minded, I think.
Yeah.
And it won't count what kind of language do you speak or so.
Yeah,
But
exactly.
until English is the global language, then we need to accept it. The question is, do you feel good when you're talking English? Do you accept it as a globally speaking language? Because if you do not accept it, and you do not like to speak it, then you cannot force yourself. So you can force yourself, but you won't be able to make it. This is my opinion, just my opinion.
Yeah, that makes sense. I hear where you're coming from.
And now
So
yeah,
I was
you
going to
would
say, so
really,
the visibility piece really comes into if you aren't, my interpretation of visibility is if you aren't being seen, then you're not going to be able to acquire clients. You're not going to be able to get business. And the blocks to being seen are those things, the emotions, the attachment to the history. It is whatever it is. It's our own belief system about ourselves. I'm sorry if you guys can hear my dogs. They're playing. And so, but that's the piece, the visibility piece is, again, in business. If you aren't seen, then no one knows you're in a business.
and how do you suggest to start getting visibility as a non-native speaker?
I
First
really
step.
think that it could be as simple as starting with I mean, it really comes down to, I think, networking. And my initial thought is pictures, because pictures portray a message, and pictures of women, pictures of ourselves doing our business work can portray a message. But if a non-English speaking businesswoman wants to be seen as an expert and also be able to, reach other English speaking people, then she would need to learn by trial and error how to speak English in whichever ways that, is possible for her, whether it's learning on an app or learning with a mentor or learning from someone who knows English that they're close with. But that, I feel like, is going to be the first step. And also before that is the choice. I want to be able to reach English speaking people, so I need to learn English.
Yeah. And we can tell, how did I talk to you? How do I know you? I just wrote you on Facebook. Come on. And from the Facebook, it can be created just a life and value from it, just
Mm-hmm.
because I wrote something in a message. I didn't even need it to speak or talk.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So
Yes.
individual outreach,
Yeah.
that's what I call individual outreach, where you reach out to people and you are connecting and you're making yourself known.
But this
So,
connection is also tricky because, okay, you can connect um, this cold way that you directly add as a friend and talk to them, or you can do it like I did. I joined your group, I made a little bit interaction, I studied your work, how you are interacting with people, I studied how you are talking, and I used the same the same behavior and the same talking in order to talk to you. And this is a more kind of a long run, so it needs a little bit of time until I get to you or to know you or to talk to you. But I think it's the most 90% better way, if as if you are going only in a cold way and you're
it's
having 50 women just as a
right.
cold.
Yeah, and really that is part of nurturing. It's part of
Yeah,
connecting, building, and nurturing, which is, to me, the only way to build a business, because
yeah,
it shows that you have soul, it shows that you care, it shows
yeah,
that you have the desire
yeah,
to have human
exactly.
connection and to build relationships, because that's really the bottom line. Business is all about relationships.
Yes, definitely. I agree. It's so the best skill and ability which you could have in business is compassion, because if you can or you are able to get into the other's head and get really what she thinks, or what um to understand her situation, then you can get closer to her and you can understand also from your point of view what you can offer or how you can help her. And this is the best ability in business, which everybody would need to have in
Well,
order
and
to.
the other thing is there are also several different types of business relationships that you can build. You
Yeah,
can build a business relationship with a mentor. You can build a business relationship with a client. You can build a business relationship with someone who you want to affiliate with. So that's, I think, a part that sometimes tends to get missed a little bit, is that there are many facets of doing business. And so with those different types of relationships, obviously you're going to approach them in a slightly adjusted different way for each different type.
Yeah. And for that, you need to be open. That means it doesn't matter your nationality anymore. It doesn't matter how your beliefs are or your cultural background or what kind of religion you are. You need to be open, to be prepared to try other religions, to try other cultures, to step over your boundaries and try as many different things as possible. You cannot say, oh, I'm Italian, I do these things because I'm Italian. No, that's not so. You need to step over that. You need to educate yourself. If you always be like, I'm that nationality, that's why I am so and so, you will never grow. You will never take it to the next level because you won't open yourself. You're always living in your own box, little world.
Mm-hmm.
If you are saying, no, I'm that nationality and I have this temperament. No, you are a human. You can have 100 temperaments. It's not just about nationality here. It's something bigger than that. And who sees and wants something bigger than that, than her own self, that means that you are ready to grow.
Cool.
Wow.
You're very wise. I respect you a lot.
Thank you. Thank you. Okay, so today you have your mastermind.
Mm-hmm.
I think in an hour or so.
Yeah.
Very nice.
I'm excited.
Yes, I feel you and I feel your excitement. And I'm very, very glad for you. I wanted to join for Friday, but it was
Oh no.
full. I will check for tomorrow if the timing is properly, because it will be also 1 a.m. or 2 a.m.
Yeah. The time difference is, I think, one of the hardest things for working internationally is adjusting for time differences in different areas of the world.
Yes, it's very difficult. You need to calculate everything exactly.
Yeah.
Yes, indeed.
That's what's nice about world clock.
Yeah, this is also. But just a couple of words. What do you think? Do you think that it is easier as a product-based business to go international or a service-based business if you decide to do something international?
Honestly, I would have to say I think it's easier to do service-based because depending on the product and depending on whether or not you're distributing for another company or whether you're making your own product, it seems like there's a lot more red tape around, international shipments and stuff like that than service-based. So in the coaching, consulting businesses, you don't have to ship anything. So I don't know about other people, but shipping things can sometimes be quite a burden. And I've worked in product-based companies, so I'm familiar with it.
Okay, and now I'm telling my perspective. I am saying that product-based services, product-based businesses are better to make it internationally and faster, because even if you cannot speak English, you can hire or outsource someone first. And yes, indeed, it needs to be invested, but you invest only if it comes back. That's for sure.
Mm-hmm.
So we are also not yet international. We are not in USA with our products, but it's definitely going faster, and people are buying. So the customers are growing faster as in the service-based business, because in service-based business, you need to grow an audience, you need to put yourself there and showing what you have, and you are only one person. But with the products, there are 100 products the same, and they can go like this and very fast, and they can get the value very fast. But we need, as a service base, we need to show first what we can do, and only after that we sell. And that is a little bit of a long
Time. Takes longer.
Yes, it takes longer. I don't say that it doesn't work, it works, but for an efficient short term, definitely product-based business is better than going internationally than a service-based. And also there are a lot of coaches. I do not say that you do not have any chance. Yes, you have chances. Everybody has chances. But it depends. Now here are coming the problems, confidence, feelings, everything which you need to overcome first in order to build that personality which
Mindset barriers.
come. And with the products, you can remain scared, you can remain how you feel. It doesn't matter, the products will sell. That nobody gives a peep how you feel or who you are. They just need your product.
I disagree with that though, because I personally believe that a product-based business that truly has a mission and that has a big vision and a big why and strong leadership and a strong foundation
it takes long, yes.
Exponentially more powerful and exponentially more successful as well, financially and just by volume.
Yeah.
I believe. But because I know product-based companies that have that vision, that have those values, that have the powerful leadership and that are willing to take risks,
Yeah, definitely.
And then that I've also seen the flip side of businesses that don't have that, product-based businesses that do not have a vision, that don't really share what the big reason why it would be important to purchase their products,
Yeah. So me and my boyfriend's big vision is to reduce paper, to using paper, and to use silicone products, because silicone, you can use it 2 years, 3 years, we give guarantee, and you can bake it how much you can you want to, and you with the paper baking on a paper, you need each time to throw it away, and that is causing a lot of paper in the nature. So we are trying to protect the nature by not using paper product or something like that. And silicone can be also after that remodeled and remade, so it doesn't need to be like, so it's not plastic, it's not paper, something which is very bad to the nature. And this is for what we are standing. And if you purchase our product, then you automatically become someone who has the nature. So this is our value. We are giving the chance to make something valuable, so to that our customer give some value to the nature by buying our product. So this is our big vision. But creating a brand, you are right, it's very difficult, and it takes time also for product base. So product base or service base is not important. Branding, it takes years. Only if you have maybe money to invest a lot of money, then no. But Not like us. We are the small ones.
Oh,
Yes.
cool.
Super, Heather. Thank you very much. This was very, I think, very creative and with a lot of value, also as a perspective. And it was not just about English, it was a little bit deeper.
I know. I thought that was pretty cool.
Yeah,
This is really fun. Thank you for talking with me.
very welcome. Thank you also that you accepted.
Yeah,
And definitely we can create more value in the
sounds
future
good. Absolutely. Thank you,
together.
Christina.
You're welcome.
Have a good night.
You
Get some
too.
rest.
I am now very fit. I do not want to rest.
All right. Thanks, Christina. Take care.
Take care. Bye bye.
Bye.